Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of the Anti-Think Tank. We got a couple of things to go through today, but first and foremost, I'd like to do a little bit of introductions to everybody. My name is Ryan Mac Ingram. I got my two co-hosts here, Justin and Ian. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves?
Hi.
Hello. I think that does it.
That's enough.
Yeah. And episode over. Have a good week, everybody. Alright, well, first things first, I'd like to talk about the U.S. government leaking Xbox information in their lawsuit in Microsoft versus the Free Trade Commission.
Yeah, that's just fucking
have
wild.
either of you guys looked into that or
Yeah,
not?
I looked into it. That shit's fucking wild.
Yeah, like I know we had like a little segment on Ian's podcast about like talking about we don't like people talking about leaks and everything because it could just end up not being true. But when the leaker is the U.S. federal government, it becomes a little bit strange, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah, like that's absolutely insane. I personally don't know much about it.
Yeah, so a few of the things that came out is like we got pretty much confirmed that there's going to be a Fallout 3 and Oblivion remaster that are under development. Dishonored 3, Ghostwire Tokyo 2, a new Doom game.
Whoa,
Microsoft...
wait. A new Doom game?
Yeah, titled Year Zero by the looks of things.
Okay, you can go on, but that's awesome. It's like one of my favorite franchises. Go on.
Microsoft internally was talking about like Baldur's Gate and very much undervalued it. It's expected that that's why it didn't originally get like an Xbox New Gen port. They called it a second-rate Stadia PC RPG, and basically, yeah, they estimated it at like Suicide Squad, the new game coming out. That's like a really like from all the news we've gotten about it, it's gonna be like a strange RPG. At 50 times the value of Baldur's Gate 3. Baldur's Gate 3 was only valued at like $5 million.
Baldur's Gate 3 is considered by many people to be Game of the Year.
Yeah, and you can see where some of the issues for Xbox are coming up just on that alone. We got a bunch of emails from people that like the head of Microsoft, like Phil Spencer, Jean-Emile Eliane. One of my favorites, by the way, that pretty much confirms everything that I had with Microsoft as one of my least favorite of the leading companies in gaming right now. Jean-Emile had this to say. Keep in mind, this is someone who's like near the top of the company. He's not like CEO, but he's way high up there. I will quote now. My turn to say, honestly, I don't know. I don't really know what goes into closing a studio, how much funding versus personnel versus output feeds into the decision. In my mind, if a studio completely needs to prove their worth by being net value over their costs, it adds a ton of pressure to release hits on a regular basis. If a game is niche, though, too bad.
Holy shit, really?
End quote. Yeah. This is one of the leaders in Xbox. Just the saying, if a game is niche, too bad, just tells me everything I need to know about how corporate Xbox has gotten and why they haven't really put out anything of interest in the last 6 years at least.
And yet they wonder why they've been lagging behind Sony and Nintendo for like, what, 5 or 6 years now?
Other news that came out, one of the big ones is that their next-gen console is set for a 2028 release. So we got about 5 years until the next Xbox. They're doing a digital-only Xbox release as like their update to the new-gen systems. And then whenever it comes to a few of the other things, like Phil Spencer really, really wants to buy Nintendo. And I almost wanted to laugh whenever I read that. Like, you're not going to buy Nintendo, dude. Just hang it up. Move it on.
What would be the benefit in buying Nintendo? I mean, yes, you're going to become a monopoly unless you try to attempt to buy a PlayStation, but like, I don't know, the way how Nintendo's going.
Dude, if the Free Trade Commission stepped in and stopped an Activision purchase, I could only imagine what they would do with a potential Nintendo purchase. Like, and Phil Spencer in these emails, he's like jerking himself off over the news too. He's sitting there going like, yeah, we are the best company that Nintendo can merge with. At any moment, they should just do it. Come on, do it. I want it. Now.
Don't you like the fact that we don't have any exclusives and no one buys our console?
I mean, maybe that's why they want Nintendo so bad. Nintendo's got one of the like biggest exclusive markets, Zelda, Mario.
Metroid.
So they're like,
I mean, yeah.
if I
Donkey
could
Kong.
just have that, I'd be better than Sony. Please.
It's like, wait, what exclusives? What incentive do I have to buy the Xbox that came out a few years ago? What exclusives does it have?
Off the top of my head, like Forza and
I don't care.
Forza. I like they haven't done very good marketing either. Like most of the things that they do in terms of Xbox just immediately get ported over to Microsoft Windows on PC. So I have never personally had like any reason to go and get an Xbox just because of the fact that all exclusives just come to PC immediately.
Yeah, like, I mean, as long as you've got a PC, if you've got a PC and a Switch, you can play pretty much every game on the market aside from a couple of Microsoft and Sony exclusives.
Yeah. Anyway. Anything else that you guys want to cover on this news, or you want to move on to the next topic? Because I think we've covered most of everything here.
Yeah, pretty much. We move to the next one. Unless, I mean, what the news of a new Doom game coming out, I'm not going to lie, that just makes my butterflies going because
dude, it butters my biscuit
because
as well.
Like Ian said, like Doom is actually my favorite franchise. Like Doom is such a classic video game franchise. They've done so well with the reboot series of Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal. I'm just saying right now, if it comes out on Xbox or a Switch, whatever, I'm gonna buy it, and it's going on the Doom Shrine.
Yeah,
for those who don't know,
Doom Shrine.
Yeah, for those who don't know, Justin has a literal shrine to the Doom franchise in his office space. We can probably put a picture up right here for our YouTube viewers.
It's pretty based.
Like, I'm a big fan of a few games, but Justin has prayed to Doom before, and it scares me a little bit.
To put in perspective how much of a Doom fan I am, on the Shrine right now, we have Doom 2016, we have Doom PC from 1991, we have Doom Eternal, Doom 64 on the Nintendo 64, we have Doom on the Super Nintendo, we have Doom 3 BFG edition.
Bro, definitely put up that picture for the YouTube. I know that this isn't the topic. I want to say this like really, really quickly.
Sure, go on.
Does everyone here have like fond memories of Doom Eternal?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I've actually never played it. I played Doom 2016, never got into Eternal.
Well, did you like Doom 2016?
Oh yeah, it was fantastic.
Eternal is like 2016, but with more movement options. I mean, jetpack, freaking. I know you didn't really like that in Halo, but here it just works. You've got a meat hook that you can like use as a grappling hook. It was 2020. I'm going to be really, really quick about this. It was 2020. I had just gotten the news that I wasn't going to be able to, like, get my senior year. So, like, I go through all 12 years at the same school, and then finally, I get to, like, the very end, and then it's January, and I just get the news that I will not be able to have my senior year. So, senior skip day, graduation, all of that stuff is just gone. So, for 2 months, I was in a really bad depression, and then I believe, maybe it was around March or sometime, Doom Eternal came out, and it was the perfect frustration venting machine. I mean, I just sat there, and for 2 days straight, I had the best time playing that game. I was able to get some frustration out. It looks beautiful, feels beautiful. I just had an excellent time with that game. And yeah, I really love the memories that we can make with specific pieces of art, I guess, is what I'm trying to get across.
To show...
Ian is like one of the most chill people I know, but the image of him just sitting in front of a fucking TV and going, "Eat a bat again, motherfucker!" Like, I needed it!
Prepare for the glory kill,
I remember when that game came out in March, dude, of 2020, at the peak of pandemic. It's ridiculous for me to say this, but like the pandemic hit in like February the most. Like everything when they shut down in February. Like there's everything on the news about how scary it was, how many people were dying and all that shit. I didn't fucking care. I just knew that in March, Doom Eternal's coming out, and this whole pandemic was going to be worth it.
If you could go back and do it again, you would cast another pandemic upon our species for the new Doom game again.
All right. Anyway, let's next topic.
So,
oh god,
are either of you familiar with the YouTube channel Jubilee?
Nope.
Jubilee is like a very, very much like middle ground politics, and they try to get a lot of people to come together and just talk about a certain topic and go over things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Recently, they had an episode come out called Conservative Blacks versus Liberal Whites. And basically what ended up happening was it seemed like really good outside of like one extremely bad faith actor. One kid who was just probably shouldn't have been there because he was like an 18-year-old kid who just seemed really into politics but not really understanding a lot of the things that go around him.
Yeah.
But the reason why this is a topic today is because there was a political YouTuber, one of the founding like online debate people called Destiny. He was on the panel for this episode, and a lot of like the really, really big left-wing political streamers online really don't like Destiny. And so whenever they would view this, it would be like, okay, guys, so this guy's going to say some things that you might agree with, but it's important to remember he's a bad guy. And we shouldn't listen to him at all. You can agree with what he said, but he's a terrible person. Just ignore him. So I looked through some of the people who said this and some of their takes in the past, and I just wanted to kind of highlight some of the takes that they've had. HasanAbi. Have either of you heard of them?
No.
The name sounds really familiar.
He is the largest political streamer on Twitch, and he kind of like took a very, very bad face stance, poisoning the well to make Destiny look bad because of his... He kind of has like a personal vendetta against him because they used to stream together, and that relationship like soured.
Mm.
And some of the takes that HasanAbi has had in the past is... For instance, let me see if I can grab the quote. Here it is. We should kill landlords.
Oh.
Make the streets run red with their pig capitalist blood. If you're black and your kid gets into an Ivy League school, you should be happy about affirmative action. Just shit like that. If there's an extreme on the left, Hasan probably enjoys it. The other person who did a similar thing is a guy called Vaush. And Vaush, looking into him, it was like, oh my god, we could run an episode about this man alone. Holy shit. If you guys want to go over the Hasan thing before we go into Vaush, that's fine. You guys do you. We can do whatever you guys want in this little section.
It's your show. You lead the way.
So Hasan has like the extremist takes, right?
All right.
Like, Vaush has the dumb takes. Like, I can see people wanting to watch Vaush for the simple fact that this man has said some crazy shit.
Okay.
Like, for instance, he decided to go into a debate with a PhD guy who had a doctorate in philosophy with zero prep to try and talk to him about the phrase, what is a woman?
Oh, God.
Oh, my.
Taking a neutral stance on this, but I just want to highlight that even if you support Vaush in the argument, you kind of have to agree he went about it in the worst way possible. The philosophy professor put forward and said, okay, so no matter what, water is going to be H2O. You have to point to, like, if you say water, you mean H2O. And Vaush responds, no. Over in Mexico, it's not H2O, it's aqua.
The fuck?
I don't... Why is he using a metaphor in, like, a serious conversation?
I have no idea. He's done similar shit before. He has argued in the past that child porn is, like, equally... Buying a computer is like buying child porn. That is what he said. That is a direct quote.
What is the correlation?
Because children get exploited in cobalt mines to get, like, the materials to make the computer, and so it's the same thing.
No, it's not.
And it pissed me off hearing that. Like, it pissed me off a lot.
It is absolutely disgusting and terrible that there's child exploitation at all on this planet, but that is simply not a comparison.
Yeah, like, it doesn't take more than 10 seconds to realize that buying an Apple product, still morally incorrect for buying from Apple. Samsung all the way, by the way. Like, buying from Apple is not the same as diddling kids.
It's really not.
And anyway.
An odd decision from good Sir Vaush there. An odd observation.
Yeah, like, every time I would scroll through one thing that he said, it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. There's a whole video somebody did it was like 10 minutes long, and all it did was control F Vaush in his private Discord and type in horsecock. And it was just scrolling through all the times he's mentioned horsecock in his own private Discord and saying that it's superior to humans. And I'm like, oh my god, what is this person? How does he have a following?
We need to get him on the podcast. He'll fit right in. I'm joking, Josh. I don't want you here. I don't want you here, bud.
I don't want you anywhere around me.
Please, we've already, like...
He comes on the show. He opens up with, well, guys, horsecock.
No, he gets here. He starts it off like really hot. He gets here. All right, guys. Vaporeon, yay or nay?
It's full fucking
What
circle.
opinions you guys got? Ryan immediately just slams his hand on the table. I got some things to say, buddy.
Yeah, he's got my vote!
He's fighting for me. Oh my god. No, dude, screw that dude. He seems like a total attention hog. He just says like inappropriate, offensive stuff. He's one of those people that I can say for sure doesn't believe half of the stuff that he says. He just loves the idea of coming across as someone with big, lofty opinions.
And the weird part is, like, specifically in, like, the previous, like, the computer pornography comparison, he has stated it multiple times in the past. So he believes this. He uses this as an argument, like, 8 or 9 times. He's also said something along the lines of, we should nuke Israel. And I'm just like,
Holy
oh my god, what
shit.
the fuck is wrong with you?
That's not an option in that conflict. It's also not our place to even. Oh my god.
Yeah, like, then keep in mind, this is a person with, I think, I can actually pull up his YouTube channel and just see how many subscribers he has right now. YouTube Vaush, Vaush, 454,000 subscribers. Uploaded a video 5 hours ago with 38,000 views. This is like a at least moderately sized political channel. Like, people go to this person and listen to his opinions and are getting, like, radicalized, basically,
Bro,
by an idiot.
Like, no, this is one of the biggest problems, like, in the modern, I don't know if it's exactly modern day, because there's a lot of people who have problems and things that they want to, like, fix about themselves, the ways that they want to change their lives, and they look upon these messiahs of political and philosophical, like, debate that don't actually care about them. Like, I have no doubt in my mind that Vaush is just, like, he may believe some of the stuff that he's saying, but ultimately, I think we can all agree that he's someone, from what I hear, who just really loves the attention that he gets, and you get more attention with, like, a outlandish opinion rather than just a regular one. It's ridiculous. Let's just take all the Vaush fans and all the Andrew Tate fans and just, like, put them in a room and be like, why are you the way you are? How did you get here?
What's so sad though is like so you know radicalization isn't a new thing. It's been around for centuries, you know, but it's scary in the modern days because you can try to radicalize someone and have a much more bigger audience and a much more easier way to achieve that audience.
Yeah, like, having a moderate opinion, like, personally, you guys know I say edgy jokes all the fucking time. Like, it's just funny to me. But
I understand.
when it comes to my political opinions, I'm very close to the center on a lot of things. I hate both parties.
Agreed.
Both parties are kind of ass. Agreed?
Yeah. Like, I hate the Republicans because they hate unions and don't want prison reform, and the Democrats think, like, have some reason to have, like, a socialist wave going through them. And I'm just like, can we just shut the fuck up and just take the good in both of you and leave the bad and then move on?
It would be great if more people could actually, like, it's because, like, this country keeps on splitting itself down the middle between two separate parties, and you have to choose a side. But, like, anyone above the age of, like, 15 should realize that both sides have a point, and both sides are equally right and wrong. Maybe not equally. I would say I'm, like, center, slightly leaning left, but I definitely, like, I don't understand how someone can be fully one way or the other.
I mean, in my political opinion, I am like an independent. That's why I classify as I'm not either Republican or Democrat.
Yeah.
Rather, though, I do lean somewhat towards to the left in some degree, but it's not like all the way to the fucking left. Like,
Agreed.
you know,
I lean like socially. I'm liberal. Economically, I'm more right wing. Except for this like socially liberal thing, the only thing that I'll say that I'm against on like the socially liberal side is like I think that we definitely have like a border crisis going on. We need something down there to prevent some like just tons of people pouring over, and just have at least some sort of means to slow it down a little bit, you know. But like I look at these people online that grow a following just by having the most out there fucking take possible. Because it's like it gets a headline. People want to click on like just to hear what this fucking moron has to say, because he'll say some stupid shit and you might get a laugh out of it. But then by doing that, and I'm not saying he should be taken off the platform or anything like that. I just want to call him out to be a fucking idiot. Like,
Hell
he
yeah,
goes out and says all these inflammatory things, and young audiences that are going through YouTube who are wanting to get into politics and be taken seriously and such listen to stuff like this, and you end up getting an entire like generation of people coming up into the American voting bloc who are going to at least somewhat agree with these drastic statements that just have no basis in reality.
And another thing about that specifically, like he has to know just by analytics that he has a lot of like younger people like listening to him, and I don't think that that's specifically a case where like he has to be forced to change his way, but he does have to be socially conscious of the fact that he might be making people dumber. I mean, when I was like 15, I was pro-Trump because he was funny. Because I was 15 years old. Like, there's a huge maturity gap between, what, 15 and 20.
but he doesn't care. All he cares about is all the attention he gets from his stupid ass fucking opinions. Like, it's like what you mentioned earlier. I call this the Andrew Tate effect, where, you know, he says these ridiculous fucking statements, and everyone laughs at him. He gets the view for it, but the more views he gets, the more bigger he gets on the platform, reaches a much wider audiences, and next thing you know, the young men are, you know, listening to what he fucking says and say, oh wait, he might be onto something.
No, these worthless young men who I'm gonna get into this later. This is a huge thing, but I agree with you, Justin. I do not understand how Andrew Tate can go to sleep at night after knowing that he is essentially creating a generation of sexists, hateful bigots. And after he went to jail for human trafficking, his fans were like, "Oh, he'll get out. He'll get out."
I was gonna say, I will say there's a stark contrast between the two, because Vaush, he has terrible opinions, but at least he didn't fucking traffic anybody. Like,
I know, but
kind of a low bar, but
I mean, the
still.
comparison I'm trying to grow here is the comparison of like, he may have, you know, Vaush here started out with shitty opinions, everyone laughed at him, and because he got the view, you know, his audience, his reach extended. It's the exact same way as Andrew Tate did. Yes, granted, you know, one has, you know, a crime against him and one doesn't, you know.
Yeah. I get what you're meaning. Like, it's, like, they're both growing an audience by taking the most radical opinion possible and pretty much convincing a lot of younger viewers that this is the route that they need to go down to be successful, or etc., or this is the way that the world should work, and that gets a ton of young people so far out of the Overton window that it's just absurd to me.
It's awful.
Anyway.
It is. There is a legitimate public responsibility you have as an influencer to just, I don't think it should exactly be a law, but just like have common sense, dude. Like Andrew Tate knows that there are like lonely, there's people say there's a male loneliness epidemic going on right now. With polls, they're saying that a lot of men. It was like, I think 3 out of every 5 men say that they don't feel like they could handle another relationship. So they don't feel like they can open up to their friends, stuff like that. And that sucks. But Andrew Tate is legitimately monetizing their loneliness and taking advantage of it and being like, oh, well, you can be happy if you take my course and become a true alpha male and traffic women and go and treat women terribly. He's such an awful person. Andrew, I want you on the podcast just so Just so I can.
I wonder how much he.
Just so we can
I
talk.
wonder how
to
much he
him,
charges for
I
that
just
shit.
want to talk to him. I just want to talk.
I just want to talk to him. I just want to talk to
I
him.
wonder how much though for the course on how to traffic women.
Dude, we should do that as a shenanigan. Just try to get into Andrew Tate's cult.
That'd be a good idea.
Also, off topic.
I'm
but have
not
you guys...
putting a fucking penny towards Andrew Tate. I'll tell you that right fucking now.
Bro,
I'm
I
not
just-
giving him a cent.
I want to see him in real life. If I ever saw him, I would make him take his glasses off and look at me and see if he had the same confidence. Have you seen his goofy ass fan fiction, like fan art looking eyes?
Yeah.
Dude. Yeah, there's a reason why he wears sunglasses. And like going back to your point, I remember distinctly there's a video of like an Andrew Tate fan who's like severely autistic, who walked into his classroom and was sitting there like yelling at the teacher like, "I am now the
Oh
alpha.
my god!
You will listen
I saw
to
that
me."
shit. That was so fucking funny.
I was so like, I felt so bad
I did
for him, dude.
too.
I was like, oh my god. He's gonna be like 30 one day and just like trying to sleep and think back to that moment. And he's gonna kill himself. And that's Andrew Tate's fault.
I can just imagine the classic Andrew Tate fan when they grow up. They're like 30, and their wife is like, "Come to bed, honey." He's like, "I can't, honey. I'm on FaceTime with Andrew. Don't you understand? He's the only one who gets me. He's the only one who understands."
No, I don't go to bed to go to you, okay? You go over to this chair to come to me, I'll go to bed and then you go to me, okay? That's how the social dynamic is supposed to work.
And if you don't understand it, then you can leave, because all I need is Andrew. Isn't that right, Andrew? Andrew, are you there? Andrew? Oh, he already took my money. He already took my money. Bro, these gurus are ridiculous. Oh my god. Screw Vaush, screw Andrew. I'm tired of these teenager influencers making the world worse. And I really hope that once they get to be like 20, 21, they realize that it was all garbage and they need to form their own opinions.
All right, moving on. Senator Bob Menendez, I'm assuming that you've heard this news. He had a conspiracy for bribery charge levied against him, I should say. He allegedly, even though it's almost pretty much publicly known, we've got him as red-handed as we can, but we still have to use allegedly because it could technically be coincidence that he had hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars, including gold and a luxury convertible, gifted to him in exchange for him using his position as a senator to benefit Wael Hannah, Jose Uribe, Fred Diabas, and the government of Egypt. Could just be coincidence, but wanted to cover it because holy shit.
I don't know, Ryan. I don't see enough evidence here to convict this man.
Like, dude, the gold bars they found, if I'm not mistaken, this could be me being an American idiot who doesn't know what the seal of Egypt is. But
want to be an I'm sorry.
okay, calm down there.
Come down there, Green Day.
You said American idiot. You said American idiot. You know what? Go on.
But yeah, like the gold that they found has like seals stamped into them that I think let's see if I can find open image in new tab. Here we go. It is still too small. I can't really make out like what the seal says, but it's like it's as obvious as possible this shit's coming from like Egypt. And just the fact that of all places on the planet Earth to be buying out our politicians, it's fucking Egypt.
That is
I can't wait to
wild.
see this man go to court and his lawyer tries to defend his ass.
Dude, keep in mind, this guy sits on like the Foreign Relations Committee, I think. So they got a pretty high value target when they gave him a convertible.
Your Honor, my client pleads oopsie doopsie.
My client pleads, did I do that?
Your Honor, my client, he says that it was a little bit of a fucky wucky ooh woo.
No.
Please don't send him to Pwizzy Wizzy. It would make me very happy. Oh
It's
my
okay,
God.
kitten.
Stop. Oh Oh my god, bro! Just imagine. I was listening really
The
closely.
Discord moderator court of law.
Oh my god, bro! I can literally see it. Oh. Hello, I've noticed you haven't been on Discord lately, kitten. You may have to go to prison for a few weeks until you can respect Daddy again.
Can I get Phoenix Wright? Can we get Phoenix Wright as his lawyer?
Objection!
Not even the real Phoenix Wright. The Phoenix Wright from the Bakker series.
My client, he, and I quote, didn't do shit.
Like, dude, a couple $100,000 in a convertible is all it takes to buy a senator now. Holy shit.
That's so sad.
That's so cheap, we could do that.
Can we really?
Bro, like, for real?
With enough time, we could own a senator.
We could literally have it mandatory that you have to listen to the new anti-think tank episode before bed under punishment by Pwizzy Wizzy.
Dude, we can run a whole service called Own a Senator. We can like give out loans.
Bro, for only $5 a month, you can own an actual member of government to do whatever the hell you want.
Do like one of those like Sarah McLachlan ads and shit like, for only $3 a month, this senator can vote exactly how you want. Ted Cruz will be at your house at the slightest drop of a hat.
I'm gonna force Kay Ivey to watch Demon Slayer. I'm gonna turn all of the government officials into weeds.
Dude, you're gonna get a third nuke dropped at this point, like.
No, dude, just
Holy
imagine, like, whoever's in charge of the nuclear launch codes, like, I force him to watch like tons of anime all day, and after like 4 weeks, he just goes ballistic and then like just like drops all of the nukes he has on the land of the rising sun.
He's like, I swear to God, if I watched one more fucking Japanese animation.
If I have
I swear to God, if there's one more incest or fucking isekai anime that comes out this fucking season, Tokyo's getting it.
Tokyo's getting it. I swear to God, if Gojo actually died in the new JJK chapter, y'all are next. Man, just drops it. Oh my God. Yeah, senators, how much will it take for me to get y'all to watch some Death Note? Because I, hit my line.
To the FBI agent who is listening to this podcast, we do not want to commit bribery. We do not want to commit bribery. We do not want to commit bribery.
I don't want to commit...
however, find it hilarious.
Unless I'm able to bribe my local state senator with a bag of hot Cheetos.
Then I'm not interested. Also, Japan, I do not want to nuke on you. You provide most of my entertainment. Please keep doing what you're doing. Pay your animators more, though.
But disclaimer, KIV, please, could you please watch anime with us?
KIV, please get on the podcast. You have got to see the new episode of Black Butler. Like, for real.
So, moving on. I have a little segment here. You had, like, Is This True last week? We had the history trivia on my week, so I wanted to combine them a little bit. Is this history? So, every correct answer will give you 1 point. Basically saying whether or not this is a true event that occurred or whether or not it didn't. So... Everybody understand the rules of the game?
Yes.
Everybody.
I got.
It's kind of like
I got write down. Hold on a second. What now? I'm just fucking with you.
Okay. So.
Okay.
Question or true or false number 1. This is called the Siege of Suiyang. It is a famous battle in Chinese history due to the use of strategic cannibalism, in which 20 to 30,000 civilians were eaten as a strategic measure.
Gordon Ramsay takes one bite. It's raw.
That is true.
I'm gonna go with false because there was no bottle and no butthole.
This is true.
Woo!
This is true.
Are you kidding me?
At the Siege of Suiyang, it was a rebellion against, I believe, the Tang dynasty. I don't have all the details here, just have the general question and true, false below it. Mostly because I was sick in my stomach reading about some of these events and didn't want to continue. But basically, they had been besieged, they had lost all their food, and so they wanted to keep the walls standing. And hold the line against the invading forces with like the 2,000 men against 130,000 that they had. And said, like, all right, we're out of food, but we have a lot of women and children.
Oh, bro, human beings
And
are not
so
created perfectly. Like after like 2 days of no chicky nuggies, we're just like, oh well, bye Bob.
After hearing this, I feel
well.
less excited to be right about this answer.
Agreed. I was hoping
Yeah.
it was fake.
I wanted it to be fake when I first heard about it too, but like this one question is why I started this whole segment in the first place, because I figured, what the fuck else is out there? Anyway.
Yeah. Good starter.
So, question number 2. During World War II, the United States attempted to use incendiary weapons where each contained a hibernating Mexican free-tailed bat with a small timed incendiary bomb attached to it.
That's false.
True? It sounds very specific.
It is true.
Woo!
Holy shit, really?
Yeah, they were going to use them on the firebombing of Japan. It was approved by the federal government. They were going to do it. And unfortunately, while some of them were getting rigged with the small incendiary bomb, they escaped the hangar and exploded and set fire to the entire hangar bay.
Oh my god.
I wish there was a camera pointing at me right now because my jaw dropped when I fucking heard that.
That literally sounds like the plot of like not a Telltale game, like a Bethesda game. That's wild.
It does. Holy shit.
All right.
Damn.
Number 3. In the year 1410, Charles VI of France earned the epitaph The Mad after he ordered 100 captured English knights to have their genitals maimed via flogging.
True.
I do know that European countries do love genital mutilation over the years. I'm gonna go with true.
All right. And Justin, what's your answer?
I say true.
This one is false.
Ah, fuck.
Yeah,
It's
while
just-
Charles VI did earn the epitaph The Mad, and it honestly wouldn't be out of character for him to have done this, he never ordered them to do CBT against the English knights because he lost every engagement he ever had with the English throughout his entire reign, basically.
I like how the only one that you made up is the one that involves smacking people's dicks and balls around. It's the only one that ended up being fanfic.
Next question. The U.S. Air Force dropped a toilet filled with napalm during the Vietnam War to commemorate the 6 millionth pound of ordnance dropped during the conflict.
Oh my god. This has to be true. Is it true? Please tell me it is.
What is your answer, Ian?
True.
This one is true.
Yes.
It was attached to, I believe, a B-52 bomber. It was a literal toilet just filled with napalm.
I remember hearing about this. That's why when I said true, I'm like, please let it be true. I don't be fucking wrong about this.
It sounds like a Moe's commercial.
All right.
Just a toilet filled with napalm.
That's just... No, that shit's just what happened after we did the spicy noodle challenge, dude.
Oh my god. Yeah.
The sequel.
All right.
Go on.
In 1642, Venice was invaded by a massive flock of birds, which had contracted an illness making them much more aggressive. They attacked much of the population, they would steal hats, and they are actually responsible for drowning a prominent member of the House of Mocenigo.
False. Sounds false.
Which is basically the Venetian version of a Kennedy.
Okay.
True. Let's go true.
All right. This is false. I made it all up.
What a great story! Oh my god, that was really interesting. Sounded like a Hitchcock movie.
And the final question, I believe you two are tied at this point. I haven't been keeping track. I don't care about the point totals.
No. I will get a prize if I win, and if I don't, I'm not playing anymore.
The final one. Chances are you both know this one because it's a like fairly talked about situation. The popular American-made children's TV icon Big Bird almost died in the Challenger disaster.
That is true.
Is that true?
That is true.
That I remember hearing about that shit.
The original plans from NASA were to get children interested in the space program was to put Big Bird on the Challenger. And this was denied because they didn't know how to get the suit to work as an astronaut, and so they just kind of put a teacher on there, and the rest is history.
That's awful.
So let's stop for a minute here. So we could be living in an alternate timeline where Sesame Street would have to explain why Big Bird died.
Oh man.
And it would have been Ronald Reagan's fault too. At least it looks like it. Looking throughout history,
it was his idea to want to bring attention to the space program, and especially kids.
Yeah,
Classic
it was also
Reagan
his idea to. He wanted to basically, like, during his State of the Union address. It's not like confirmed or anything, but we have a lot of facts that point to this conclusion. That he was, during his State of the Union address, which was the date of the Challenger launch, he wanted to, like, call up and show this teacher mid-air, like, during the State of the Union, right? Like, make a huge spectacle about it.
Mm.
And NASA had told the Reagan administration, like, hey, we can't launch on this day because, like, weather patterns and everything else we have to delay. But Reagan really wanted this shit to happen. And so it's not confirmed that Reagan pushed them to do it on that date against, the rocket scientists saying that they shouldn't launch the Challenger on that day. But it's heavily implied that Reagan gave him a little push.
That's why this country is broken. Why did the person with less information and less intelligence make the final decision? That's so stupid.
Well, that's not entirely true. I mean, when I watched the documentary on the whole situation, listen. When it comes to Challenger, any kind of spacecraft, I watched all kinds of shit on it. But anyway, in the documentary, it didn't say that he himself kind of did it. I mean, yes, he did make the comment saying he wished it could happen, but it just didn't happen. I'm not sure if it did or not. But I remember they're just saying that, NASA at the time weren't as strict as they are now.
But I remember looking into it a little bit, and it does seem like I'm not saying he called for them to do it on that day, but just the fact that it would have lined up on the State of the Union address. It would have done everything. It looks like, at least to me, my conspiracy tinfoil hat-filled fucking brain, he at least gave a heavy push to do the Challenger launch on that day. And so we couldn't have lived in a reality where children would have tuned in elementary school to watch this Challenger thing, knowing Big Bird is on that fucking thing. And watch that thing go up in fucking flames.
And not only that, but think about it.
Insane.
For years to come after that, they would probably have, like, anniversary days of when we lost Big Bird on PBS.
Would they have... Okay, I'm just going to say something. Would they have written him off the show?
That's what I'm saying, that they probably would have done it, yeah.
Yeah, like Sesame Street and, like, Muppets and everything else, like, the actors who play them are basically that character. It takes, like, 20 years to train to be one of these guys. And so...
I had no idea.
Yeah. Like, they would have had no one to replace him. Yeah. So, yeah, Big Bird, like, not just the actor, but the character as well, would have died in the Challenger disaster.
That is an insane bit of trivia. Thank you. Like, oh my god.
Anything else in these things you want to go over? Like, go over more about, like, the Siege of Suiyang? Because I got a couple more things about that one if you guys want to get discussed.
No, I'm good. We can move to the next topic.
Sure.
Well, that was my last
if you
topic
want
for
to,
the
you
day.
can.
That was basically my last scheduled topic. Yeah, that was my last scheduled topic for the day. There wasn't that much that happened in the last week, in all honesty. We've had a very slow week, thankfully. I'd rather have less topics and have to fill time a little bit with what you guys want to talk about, or just some bullshit, than talk about, like, World War III or some shit.
I got two things I want to mention real quick.
Oh, shit. Time to goofing. Time for goofing. Time for goofing. It's time for goofing.
Anyway, I got two things I want to mention here. It's funny how we started off your episode, Ryan, 3 weeks ago, with a moment of silence for the lead singer of Smash Mouth. And within this last week, we've had two people pass away.
Who would that be?
All right, let me look up their names exactly.
Who was it? Nobody important enough for me to remember.
Listen, my brain is just, like, shot. Okay, I can't remember shit. I can't remember what I ate yesterday. Okay, give me 1 second here. I know one guy. I forgot his actual name, but he was the the creator of the physics gun and Gmod.
Oh, okay.
Alright.
I used to play Gmod for hours.
I'm trying to find his actual name here.
Rip to a real one.
His screen name was Davor or Dave Zero or R. It was a tool gun. I'm sorry, I'm retarded. He was the creator of the tool gun, and he had passed away at the age of 35.
Bro, that's terrible. I hate hearing about anyone who dies that young.
And the second person that passed away was David McCullum. He was mostly known for his role in NCIS, and he died yesterday at the age of 90.
That one I'm a little less, sad about. Man has a whole legacy and tons of episodes people can look back on.
That one I'm kind of sad about, only because growing up, my father loved the hell out of NCIS.
Dude, tons of old people. My grandmother used to watch that shit all the time. I didn't get it personally, but
I don't really get like
if it had been, I
procedurals.
will say, personally, I would have been mourning much, much harder if it would have been the goth doctor that died. But, David McCallum.
Are you talking about Abby?
Yeah.
I said goth doctor, didn't I?
Yeah, you did, boy. Finna make me act up like an old thirsty hound dog.
Okay. Anyway, it's funny though how you mentioned like all old people watch that show. I mean, my dad watched it. He wasn't that old. I mean, he died when he was 51. That's like middle age.
Yeah, I mean, like I feel like it's it's one for like the adult crowd, 35 and above.
Older. I'm 24, okay?
I'm 14.
Does that tweak your nipples right there? Like, older. Is that more accurate for you?
My nipples have been tweaked ever since emo doctor lady
Anyway.
was mentioned. I'm disturbed
Anything
that we're
else
not
that we
talking
wanna
about it anymore.
Yes, no, maybe so.
I can figure something out here. Hold on, boys.
I don't have much.
Oh yeah, the whole Trump news about the fucking wanting to buy a Glock thing, that was not really news.
It was just kind of there.
I don't know
Anyway,
about it.
and Trump said that he wanted to buy a Glock. And that's the news story.
That's it.
Who the fuck reported on that?
That was the news story. Like, he was like, under an indictment, it would be illegal for him to buy a gun. Yeah, but he just said he wanted to buy the gun. He didn't say he was buying it. He just said, I want to buy a Glock. Glocks are great
did
guns.
CNN report on that?
Chances
Yeah.
are, yeah. It was like a fucking... I saw a picture of the gun that he wanted to buy. I got to admit, amazing choice of gun. Like, that thing looked like gold-plated, had like a Trump sticker on the side of it. It was made for him.
Man, just I can literally see Trump like pistol whipping someone if he has to ask him twice.
I found something we could talk about. The SAG-AFTRA strikes have officially come to a conclusion with an agreement between with the union.
I
and
forgot
the
about that.
companies.
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to talk about that on my episode, and the specific reason why I kind of wanted to wait until next week was because it's not finalized yet, and no one has actually signed the contracts that they need to, so it could still go on for a couple of weeks.
All right. Well. Thanks, Ian. We almost had a topic.
Fine, talk about it. I don't care. I don't care.
No.
You know what? No, have fun. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
No. You made the decision. You have to live
I guess
with
we
that.
could throw in a topic that I was going to talk about last episode. Televangelists. I'm not sure how fitting that will be in this episode.
Dude, we covered like strategic cannibalism. I think we're gonna be fine.
All right, well, let's talk about
all right. So cut out the last 6 minutes and let's just do a televangelist thing.
All right, well, my topic I want to talk about for Ryan's episode here is let's talk about televangelists. Real quick, what is your two opinions on them?
Like, for total transparency and such, when we recorded the Noodle episode, like shortly afterward, you did show us some shit, and I was like, "There's no way these people are real. This is a cult."
Okay, and for context, the video that I showed them was a YouTube video by the channel of Vic Berger. He had made a compilation of all his edits on the Jim Bakker show, And for those who don't know, Jim Bakker is he was a multi-million-dollar televangelist with his wife, Tammy Faye. And they went to jail for embezzlement, which was awesome, or fraud. I can't remember which one. They went to jail.
Woo.
And Jim Bakker got out of jail, and he is still doing it. He's still on his broadcast, and he's still preaching the end of the world, boys. He's preaching that doomsday is coming, and only he can save you. With what? With his food buckets.
Okay, but wait. What if Jim Bakker is actually Doom Guy, truly preparing us for the demon takeover? Just imagine, bro. Imagine if the parademons come out and Jim Bakker just starts hitting him with some glory kills, bro. Just,
Dude, I'd be impressed because he's been talking about the doomsday for like 25 fucking years at this point.
Like, he hasn't stopped. Every single episode, like even one episode, he goes like, "It's coming soon, boys.
It'll come back eventually.
It's coming soon, boys. It's like end of days. It's coming. You gotta repent. You gotta repent." And that statement was made like maybe 20 years ago, and here we are 20 years later, and it's like, it's coming soon. You gotta be ready. You gotta buy my food buckets that has the worst rice and broccoli cheddar you'll ever taste in your whole life. But you gotta buy it. It's gonna save your ass.
For a small payment of $5.99.99, Jesus will love you as well today.
He was trying to sell like 20 of those buckets, and his price tag on it was like $2,000.
Bro.
Not only that, but like when it zoomed in on his face as he was taking a bite, and he gagged a bit when
he choked on the soup they made, dude. He choked on it.
It's so bad.
Like, dude, it's so disgusting too, watching them like making the food bucket. Hey, it's a bucket of food. It's not like a non-preservative. You've cooked the fucking food. It's done.
By the way, a little fun fact for everybody listening. So if any of you are watching, or if any of you are listening to this right now, and you're big fans of Good Mythical Morning, they did do a video on the Jim Bakker buckets. And to put into context, in case you didn't see that, so this bucket is advertised for when the end of the world comes, and you have no power, no electricity. You can find a way how to cook these foods. The pizza that came in one of these buckets required a full functioning kitchen,
which I don't think you're gonna have access to when like Johnny Cash and Satan are outside your door with shotguns ready to break the door down.
Anyway, but when it comes to televangelists, though, I want to bring up one televangelist in particular, and he is literally Satan himself. His name is Benny Hinn. Have any of you heard of this gentleman?
If somebody is called a televangelist, I just don't know about them or listen to them because I don't respect them.
Well, Benny Hinn was the one that
I know about them from you.
Well, the Benny Hinn was the one that's known for the whole faith healing. He's known for that, right? But he takes it. To a whole extreme. Like I've been to churches before where someone would be like, "Oh, I've got severe backache." It's like some grandma sitting there, holding her back. And the preacher's like, "Oh, we'll pray over your back and we'll heal it right now," and shit like that. Like that's generalized pain that can be healed with placebo, right? But he'll take people on that have like actual like cancer, and they're gonna die from it, and they're actually taking chemotherapy. And he'll sit there, he'll pray over them, and the whole audience is cheering on and whatnot. And he'll even say, "You don't need that anymore. You were healed." And I shit you not, 2 weeks later, they're dead.
Okay, I genuinely feel like people who do things like that bring people further away from the faith that they're trying to peddle. Look at the lead singer of Metallica, James Hetfield. His mother had cancer, and his family was extremely religious, and they didn't go to any kind of doctor or do any kind of treatment because his dad and mother said that the Lord would heal her, and she died. And so for James Hetfield's rest of his life, he was filled with anger. That's why he created Metallica, because he needed to get his anger out, because he thought it was ridiculous that they just let his mother die. There's a song on their fourth album called Dyer's Eve about it, and it's very excellent. I truly can't stand when things like that happen, especially when there are passages in the Bible about the fact that the Lord has given us the intelligence to do certain jobs. Doctors are here to do a job that no one else on the planet can, and there's a reason for that. And so the idea that the Lord can help you when a doctor can't, just have the doctor help you because he's here.
But
Like, it's so fucking dumb to me. Like, I'm a capitalist, right? Like, I believe in capitalism and everything, but there's a certain point where somebody needs to step in and say, okay, you're just abusing these people. Like, that is all you're doing. You have made millions of dollars taking these people who are desperate for anything, just a little bit of hope, and you are wringing them for every drop of fucking money that you can.
I got more stories with Benny Hinn, okay? Like, one of these kids that came on the show, it was an Indian family. They traveled all the way from India to come see Benny Hinn to get their son healed because all other, treatments have failed. And, again, this is desperate. Really fucking desperate shit, I feel for the family. And, of course, Benny Hinn prays over them. And a news channel followed up with the family about months later after this happened. And Benny Hinn was still suggesting to this family that they send him $2,000 a month to make sure the prayer worked.
That is disgusting.
$2,000 a fucking month for nothing. And they still did it.
Dude, the Catholic Church didn't rip people off that bad when they had fucking paid indulgences. Like,
for real.
That is some shit. Like, there were wars that were fought over less shit than that.
It's so sickening. And of course, the child died. Of course, he's dead because there's nothing else they can do for him. But it's so sickening. Like, how can you go to sleep at night telling a family with a dying child to send you money for $2,000 a month to make sure that this imaginary fucking prayer worked?
Now, I'm generally a pacifist. I don't want anybody getting hurt for anything, but holy fuck, dude. If there's a person on Earth that deserves a brick through their window...
Now, I know.
That lands conveniently on your head...
There's a person on this Earth who deserves a visit from EDP 445, like, next week. It's this guy. Oh my god. Like,
he's just lying in bed. A car passes by and the headlights just illuminate the shadowy figure of EDP in his fucking doorway.
Man blocks out the entire light of the moon.
He's got a box of cupcakes in his hands, ready to go to the front door like, hey.
Every car that goes by, he gets just a little bit closer.
It's like a Meat Canyon episode.
It sounds almost like the Hashing Slasher.
Bro, that's...
Final car goes by, he's just lying in bed, his arm around him.
No, wait. Then the episode ends, it's just, good night, folks, that's all. For the whole comedy routine. Dude, we need to say... Glockle Trump, new Donald with his new Glock, everyone.
You're inciting violence. Stop it.
We incited violence earlier when we were talking about nuking Japan.
No, that was a joke. We knew this time.
That could like, you said outright, we need to...
Which I don't disagree. Okay, I don't disagree, but we can't do that.
Cut it out.
We can't broadcast. We can't broadcast a call to this man. That would be illegal.
Okay, cut it out. Keep the EDP part in. Start from back. Yeah, this guy's a really bad guy. Don't like him.
I think I'll just censor what you just said, and that way we won't be held liable for it.
Dude, no, just have a really long censor. Just have a really long censor bar. I think that we should be for like 10 seconds.
No, just cut all of it because it's not gonna fucking. Just get rid of it. You can leave in this part about us saying to cut something, just so that the viewers don't know what the fuck we're talking about. But just know that Ian said something that we needed to cut, and I'm just happy that it wasn't me for once.
I'm part of the club.
Listen,
now.
like it's always a shocker when it comes to you two. It always is because like I mentioned, when it comes to the podcast, and when I was when I was thinking about like who could really make this podcast come alive, and I knew Ryan and Ian would be the best choices for this shit, but I knew deep in my heart I'd be very scared of what Ryan has to fucking say, while Ian here just straight up fucking incited violence.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's just gonna get to that point and just straight up fucking beep. Just to make sure that we have all bases covered, all right?
All right. let's drop it. This guy's a bad man, all right? He's a bad man. He's a baddie, all right? We need him put in prison.
The
with
whole
you, all right?
fucking last section of this podcast is gonna be nothing but censor beeps, and I can't wait to edit this.
Bro, why?
You know what?
You were the one who mentioned this man. You're telling me he doesn't sound like an antagonist?
No, he is. He's an awfully bad person. I really honestly.
What was his name? Just so I know, like, exactly who I'm.
Benny
who I hate
Hinn.
now?
BENNY space HINN.
I'm sorry I went all in, man. Like, after hearing about that Indian family, it really messed me up, and I really did not like that guy.
All right, Benny. You can ask Ian how this feels, but it's got to happen.
What?
Got to go to the corner now.
No. I get one free pass. Can I get one free pass?
Not you. I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to Benny. Your time will come.
He's got his sights on you.
We're gonna be non-specific, but let's just say it's a certain corner.
Benny Hinn, if you could just watch
While
our
you're-
highlight video on it, you'll understand everything.
Just imagine he comes out with a video. These heathens at the anti-think tank trying to take me down for doing the Lord's work.
the devil.
What?
What are the fucking audience? Who the fuck is the anti-think tank? Just pull it up and it just hard cuts to. No, please, no.
No, it just plays our trailer. It just plays the minute trailer for the channel, and all the oldsters are just like, what?
Oh my God, Satan's real.
Satan's real.
What's so funny too is that when I advertised this channel on my Facebook page, a lot of my friends on my Facebook page went to the church I used to go to. So if they were listening up to this point, they're not now.
I mean,
Dude, your pastor is sitting there like, oh, I'd like to see what some of my flock has done in their lives. You tell me people don't check off the Pokemon.
Bro, I can literally see your pastor just sitting there like, oh, let's see what brother is up to today. Vaporeon. The Spanky Boy corner, mac and cheese foot whore. What is this? This is not the doctrine.
I'm just glad I don't go to church anymore. So I don't have to put up that ridicule.
Dude, I can just fucking imagine like you're sitting there in the rows, like the pews, just looking forward, and he like keeps mentioning things just vaguely similar to something we said, and just staring directly at you.
It's like not the eyes of anger, but the eyes of disappointment.
The more like everybody just starts like looking up at the pastor who's staring and just like turning their head towards where he's looking at. You're just deadpan staring forward.
You're just like
trying your damnedest not to be like, yeah, that
just
was
like
me.
my fellow, my congregation. We have a rotten apple on our group today, and like he looks right at me. Everyone turns to look at me too. I'm just like, oh, hey, how you doing?
Bro, I just got a weird vision in my head of him like calling you up for a game show in front of everyone where you have to answer questions about the podcast.
So what was this about a Mickey Mouse ball gag?
Everyone in the congregation is like, oh, I saw that shit at his house last week.
Now
I knew he
now,
had
son, what is this about? A toy that's shaped like a man that jerks off his penis.
Now, I've never heard of a penis myself, but it sounds filthy. Bro, no, just imagine he's like, all right, Mr. Dawkins, first question. He put what in the mac and cheese?
So tell me, son. Tell me, son.
And what are his
Did
prices?
Ian really pay $2,000 for that Dreidel ball?
Oh, I'm close, dude. I literally have a fund waiting. I'm going to eat it on stream for a shenanigan. I'm going to eat it on the channel for shenanigan.
And the priest just sitting there going like, so, $5 wasn't enough? Can we get like a rate?
Good Lord.
Oh my god.
Is 20 good enough? I can go 25.
I can go 25.
I hope to
what's
God
this
he's not
about
listening to this.
What's this about a Serbian bottle?
So the man shoved his bottle up his rectum, and then proceeded to break it with said rectum.
Due to the sheer force of his ejaculate. Destroyed the no, wait, okay. Off
He
camera.
just looks over at the wine, like for the blood in the fucking body, just eyeballing it throughout the whole congregation.
Just like, we might have to do a little bit of a demonstration, Mr. Justin.
At this point, I'm not going to hell. I'm going to super hell.
You're going to hell 3.
Hell to the third power.
Hell squared, bro.
Just chilling down there with Lucifer and Beelzebub, like, so what did you do? Oh, rebelled against God. What about you? I created gluttony. And you? I convinced a priest to shove a glass bottle up his ass.
And decided to start a podcast with 2 of the most mentally unstable men in the state.
Lucifer just mouth agape staring at you like, oh my...
Oh
my god.
Fun fact, I used to think that agape was pronounced agape, so I would unironically say mouth agape. I was only vaguely mentally challenged.
Did you
I
just
can't wait to hear about it in
Did
a
you just
week.
fucking see Agape?
Like you're
No, like agape.
Agape?
I can't wait to hear about in a fucking week. You talk about how your friends at work keep like saying like, there he is standing, mouth agape.
Listen.
No, dude, it is literally happened. Though, just right quick. Justin, you know Noble?
Yeah, I don't know, but what's he doing?
Bro, he literally drove. I was out like for my break the other day. I was walking out on my break, and Noble like drives up to me, rolls down the window, and screams, "Hey, Ian, why didn't you put your foot in the mac and cheese?" And I ran, bro. I'm not kidding. I ran back inside, embarrassed. Like the idea of having. Bro, are you
just crying, sprinting back inside.
No, like
I'm not a foot whore.
I'm not a foot whore. I don't get spanked by my friend Ryan. I'm just a normal man.
I like the idea now that like this podcast has now ruined your work life.
No, like it's not normal anymore. I'm gonna go to work. They're gonna say, "Hey, what's up, Agape?"
Ian,
It's terrible.
just for you, Ian, we're gonna make that a shirt. I need you to spell that for me.
It's spelled the same way.
No. Agape.
H-
So at the end there'll be an E with the apostrophe at the top of it. There you go.
That's it. Mouth agape.
Agape. So wait, gape is Gape, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so it'd be
Yeah.
Agape with the apostrophe at the top of it. There you go. Agape.
E with like the Spanish.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah,
squiggly
right
line
there.
Over it.
Why does it sound like?
That's not an
Well,
apostrophe.
either way.
Why does it sound like it? Why does it sound like an anime villain? Mouth agape.
You just
Sounds like he works for Eisen and
watch.
Bleach.
Just you fucking watch. After this episode fucking aired, there'll be some guy in Japan that's trying to, an executive trying to make a brand new anime, and he's gonna be like, that's the name right there, Agape.
It's like, you know what? Goku, I don't even know him. Ichigo, no idea. Luffy, what even is the One Piece? Mouth agape is my shit.
Like this right here, this my bros. Agape is gonna go far. All right, you're gonna see this shit on fucking trading cards. All right.
The new Pokemon.
It's a new fucking Pokemon. Agape. It's just a big fucking mouth.
Bro, I didn't even imagine what
It's
it
just
looked
the
like.
fucking Pogger's face on him, like just shaking.
And I'm just saying,
violently.
if anyone were to play Smash or Pass with Agape, we know what the right answer is.
I gotta go.
Anyway. Well, good night, everybody.